Welcome back, team. Today we are covering the 7 kinds of screens that you can set as a player for your team to help you get some buckets. Let's get into it. So there's 7 kinds of screens, but there's 2 kind of on-ball screens and there's 5 kind of off-ball screens. Let's check out the 2 on-ball screens. Let's look at the first on-the-ball type screens. The first one is called a pick and roll. So we have the pick and roll. The pick and roll, screen and roll means that when the person with the ball receives a screen, they are going to dribble to that side where the screen comes nice and close to their teammate, where that screener is then going to roll to the basket, creating a 2-on-1 situation where either the dribbler can get to the rim for a layup or they can bounce pass to their teammate also for a layup. The second kind of on-the-ball screen is a little different. It's called a dribble handoff. And you gotta be really careful to make sure that you come to a complete stop and that you're not setting a moving screen. But this is what a dribble handoff looks like. The person with the ball initiates the movement. And in a pick and roll, the screener comes to start the play. A dribble handoff, the dribbler starts the play. So the dribbler is gonna dribble towards one of their teammates. They're gonna come to a complete stop and do a half turn, allowing their teammate to come like a football fullback or a tailback to get that ball and to come off their screen. Evidently, this is now blocking out their defender and they can't get there. This player is going to then also roll, and it's just like a pick and roll, except it was initiated from the dribbler. The first kind of off-ball screen we're gonna look at is called an away screen. If the away screener does it right, it can open up a nice curl action or for an open shot. So an away screen is when the player who's close to the ball, maybe they pass it over, they're gonna start away and setting a pick on this other defender. They have gone away from the ball, allowing this player to come open for a shot or curling around here for a layup. The second kind of away screen that you can run that's really effective is called a back screen. Now, a back screen is when the screener comes from the baseline and sets it to somebody's blind side. Now, they cannot move, so they set their screen, and the person then cuts back, hitting that screen, and the cutter now is open for a layup right by the basket. The third kind of off-the-ball screen is called a down screen. Say the ball's on the strong side of the floor, somebody from the weak side of the floor, like this player, goes down towards the baseline, setting a screen on the post defender, allowing them to come up into the high post or three-pointer for a pass. It's very effective to get a 3-point shot off of this when it's done correctly. The second last type of screen you can run that's off the ball is called a FLAIR screen. And how the FLAIR screen works is it's much like an away screen, except instead of somebody cutting to the ball, they actually flare away. So the screen comes, sets the pick, and they act like they're coming down for a curl, but really they pop out, they get their pass, and that confuses the defender on where to actually go, below or high or side, or if they're going to be going in for a layup. So that is the FLAIR screen. The very last kind of screen is called a slip screen. This one, sneaky, super silky, and nice to run in multiple types of actions. But how that works is this. The ball is going to be on the far side of the floor. The player is going to come set a screen just like an away screen. However, they pause for a minute, acting like this is going to be a pick and roll or a screen. But once there's immediate contact, they slip towards the basket, looking for the pass, and 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be wide open. So here's a pro tip. When you're running those screens, make sure in your offense, if you're a coach or if you're even just playing at a pickup gym, that you're always moving, you're always setting screens. The minute you start putting a back screen into an away screen, into a pick and roll or dribble handoff, now you're playing basketball, and man, the game just becomes so much more fun to play. So make sure you keep moving when you're on offense. So there you have it, the 7 kind of screens you can run in your next practice or your next game so that you can get open and make some buckets. That's a swish.